Fellow traders, 'tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Wednesday, July the 29th, the year's 2026. Let's talk trading basics. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And one of the basics is always having your risk management in place so you don't lose more than you're willing to lose while you are trading. So basics, you know, it's kind of I guess funny, interesting in the sense that I've been doing this trading since I think about 1980, no, 1977, somewhere around there is when I started trading. And back then there was no internet. There was no MT4, there was no online trading. Had to sit there with the value line charts and take a ruler and draw trend lines and support and resistance lines. And the thing is, now that we've got all these neat tools, MT4 and the rest, and a whole bunch of indicators, I mean, just things that couldn't even dream of back in the 70s. And it's so funny how when you get down to really analyzing things and really taking a hard look at things, it's all back to the basics. That's what we do. We really have to do basic things. And sometimes we get so engrossed in the charts and charting and time periods, and we completely miss the basics. So one of the basics is, where are we in terms of price? I mean, the location. Now, of course, this is subject to opinion sometimes, but some things are universally agreed upon, such as the daily open, the daily high, the daily low, ditto for weekly and monthly. These things really aren't up for debate. There might be slight variances from broker to broker since Forex isn't a consolidated market, but overall, we're going to agree. And so, that's the first thing that you just might want to look at when you start your trading session. It's just like, where is price? The next thing you might want to look at is, as you look at the chart, what's price doing? Is it bouncing between a couple of levels? Is it going, is it just seems like it just keeps going in one direction, basically ranging versus trending? And a lot of times people don't identify the quote unquote market condition at the time. Because if you can properly identify the market condition, then maybe you can properly identify which method to use. Because if you've been following me, when I was first started online trading, I was trading stocks. And I would say that I learned through experience that if you have a tool, then you want to find which stocks work with that tool best. Now, in the foreign exchange, yeah, we've got a lot of different currency pairs, but there's only a handful that are what I would consider worth trading. The majors, maybe two handfuls. Um, so what you need to do is you still need to find out which tool works best, or which pairs work best with the tools, or which tool works best with the pair. That being said, once again, you know, I've been trading with Walmart for years now, and we focus on the pound dollar, even though I still kind of keep the yen. I'm kind of look at that every now and then because right now I'm just waiting for it to hit 164. I want to put some shorts on if if price gets up that high. But if the pound is bouncing between two ranges, there's certain methods to use. If it's just taking off in one direction, then there's other methods to use. Basically, you're either going to use a breakout method or you're going to use a reversal method. And that's just, those are just a couple of the basics that a lot of traders, they're so focused on their RSIs or, moving averages or stochastics or whatever they've got on the chart that they completely forget about location and market condition. It's almost like buying real estate: location, location, location. Because we've got news coming out. And as you can see here, the range is like 31 pips. There's just price is just seems to be stuck. It came up here, it went down here. And you can notice I actually have the current ones. I didn't have to reset it but while I'm doing the video. But this is just, using the two indicators, it gives you the an institutional roadmap. We've got FOMC coming out today. And then the morning routine calculates these numbers. And it just seems like, price seems to respect these numbers. I'm not sure why, but that doesn't really matter. And you might notice that I made a little modification so the lines only go back to the current daily open, because it's kind of silly to plot the lines, today's lines over yesterday. It's like, no, you got to have today's lines for today. And so when I made, when I updated the indicator, this was the price at the time. And you can see how price, let's see, 704. Let's see, that was my local time, so that would be 17, which would be this candle right here. So you can see price has gone down since then. So once again, it crossed this line, crossed the double O, once again location, and then came back down. Got near the 70, well, within about 5 pips of the 75 line. Once again, it hit this line. Once again, location. And now market conditions. You've got this, 30, 31 pip range. Something's has to happen when the FOMC comes out. Yeah, I mean, a 30 pip range on the pound dollar? No. And really, no. It's just pretty much not going to happen. In fact, let's see. Where's my, here we go. Let's just look at the day. Oh, yesterday we had 37. So, I mean, just some muted days here. Almost no prices has to do something, has to move out. So could it run up to the 35? Could it run down to the 30? Who knows? But we know something pretty much has to break. So trading the FOMC, I would look for breakouts of the previous day's high and low, because yesterday was almost as doji, as you can see here. So that's what I would be looking for. Breakout of yesterday's high and low. So I created a new indicator. It's well, actually, I have done this indicator before, but I made it slightly different this time around, where we've got the Asian, New York, and London sessions. We've got the open, the low, the high, and so you can see what price is doing. So you can see it broke the Asian high, but then it's kind of respected that line and came all the way back down, or now it's bouncing off of that Asian low. So we're stuck. So when FOMC comes out, depending on where it is, I might even look to trade the Asian Open crossover. That would be that might be a good trade. To the upside, I'd wonder what would happen at the double O. To the downside, what would happen at the 75? So that might be another plan. Just trade the psychological levels. So we've got the 75 here. We've got the double O there. And it's really hard to see on this chart. Might have to change the colors. But once again, just some simple basics. So location and condition. So right now, everything is getting pretty well squeezed. Daily D1 bias. You can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 5 days. So once again, there's that lowest low, lowest high over the last 5 days. Look for a breakout right here. Looking at the Garsh indicator, we've got contracting, expanding, contracting, normal. So you can see, depending on the time frame, what price is doing. And looking at the H4, you can see there, just looking at it, it's range bound. And if you just kind of do a top down look, you can see here, it shot up, now it's ranging. Weekly, once again, you look back, pretty much ranging. Daily, it was pretty much respecting these two levels. But if you look here, you can see here, once again, ranging. H4, you can see it's created a new level here. That's almost a Darvis box. And you know what? Fastest 15 minutes is trading. It's just about over. So I don't know if you're going to trade the news or not, but if you do, I just want you to remember one thing. It's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.